the first episode of the 2025 Tuskateers Hogcast football season. I am Bones. That's right. And we got Buck and Camo. We are back in action from a little hiatus. We did take a little hiatus after that live deal that we did at Hogs and Heifers, but that's okay. We went through a rough baseball season.
Hey, it
You
wasn't
can
too
call it
rough.
rough.
It
wasn't
wasn't
too
too
rough.
rough. We
I
made
mean,
it to
the
Omaha.
ending was rough.
Ended rough, I guess, for lack of better words there. But hey, it's football season and game week. Arkansas and Alabama A&M on Saturday, and I got to tell y'all, it doesn't feel like a game week to me. I don't know about y'all, but maybe it's me guarding my heart a little bit. I don't know, but it just doesn't feel like game week. What about y'all?
I don't know. This weather's has me feeling football season. I'm watching UCA right now on the TV in the background, and they're starting to get their butts kicked. But hopefully, the Razorbacks have something else to say for the state of Arkansas.
Yeah, I was watching that before we started doing this, and UCA looked like they were driving, but you said right before we started that the Mizzou, I guess, scored again.
But I'm liking this weather outside. I've got a hoodie on now. It's been like in the 60s all week, or all today. I mean,
Yeah,
and
a
I
little
don't know.
bit.
It's feeling more and more like football week.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can just dive into it. And if y'all don't mind, I've had something on my mind about this football season. I think a little reason of why I don't feel like that it's a game week for me. And so if you don't mind, I'm gonna start us out, and then we'll go around the screen here. I think my biggest thing is obviously the portal and the NIL and all that. We've got 55 new scholarship players, and a majority of that is from the portal. We have only have 11 guys, and correct me if y'all know this, but I'm pretty sure this is right. We only have 11 guys from the state of Arkansas on the team. Now, I know Arkansas doesn't produce a ton of SEC athletes year in and year out, but to me, it's just I don't feel like we have anyone playing for the Hogs. Even Braylon Russell. I mean, look at what he did in the offseason. He said he was going to enter the portal, and then he said he wasn't, and then he did, and he came, just back and forth. It's whether or not that's you're using that as, I guess, negotiating to get more money. I don't like it. And it's really put a sour taste in my mouth. And I just it's really made me not excited for college football, and especially Razorback football. Now, I listened to a couple podcasts this week, Trey Biddy with Hog Sports, and that also contributes to me not really being that excited because no one knows what team we have, because all the practices that all the media gets 10 minutes, the first 10 minutes of a practice, and then they shut the doors, and it's all closed door meetings. And I get it. You don't want to let the cat out of the bag. I get it. But media is there, especially your own team's media is there to pop you up or hype you up and get you going. And hell, even the buzz no one knows what kind of team we have. And you can be representing the U of A and all the athletics and say we're going to go 8-4, but you don't know. No one knows, and you could say that for years past. I get it. But at least in years past, those guys had some sort of idea. So I think it's just a mixture of everything that I've mentioned. And
Yeah.
honestly,
Well,
there's a
and
lot
Caleb,
of
I'll say
fun
this.
things happening in the NFL. So
Y'all won't like what I have to say.
Well, I'll say this.
well,
I'll
we
say
know
this.
that, Buck.
Caleb, just to piggyback off you, yes, you're right. We don't know what's going to happen. I feel like with the NIL, every year is a crapshoot, especially with having as many newcomers as we have this year. We really don't know what we got. We don't know what we're what to expect. We could be 4-8 or 8-4. It just depends on this
Yeah.
team, how we perform, how we execute. Obviously, talent level. It's that all of that is pretty important. But I'm going to be me. I'm very optimistic. I feel like we can have a great year. I've heard nothing but good things from the players. Feels like they're really close this year. They've spent a lot of off the field time together. I feel like they've got a good camaraderie. They've gelled pretty well together. Even though there are a lot of newcomers, I feel like the leadership of this team has taken on um, a big role on emphasizing that togetherness, and that
Yeah.
togetherness can bring a lot of wins. When you're lacking in talent, if you've got one common goal together, Houston Nutt was really good at this, and I feel like Sam Pittman has some Houston Nutt qualities. I feel like he could do a better job with some in-state recruits and some in-state players on retaining those guys and getting them to the Hill and getting them to Fayetteville. But in saying that, I feel like we all just need to sit quiet, let the season play out, and I feel like in about 3 or 4 weeks we're going to really know what kind of football team we've got.
Well, to butt
Yeah.
off your point, Josh, I was going to mention that. Whose fault is it, Caleb? Coming back to your point on why aren't we getting those in-state players? Because there's got to be more, like you said, than 11,
Yeah,
right? We all agree there's more SEC talent than 11 players in Arkansas.
I
I don't
think
know.
that number's wrong.
Yeah,
There's
I
a
think
lot of
we've got more
no.
than 11.
I think I heard 10 this morning, or maybe yesterday morning on the radio. So I think Caleb's
can,
about right on that.
can you
But
even name? Can you name one outside of Braylon Russell? One Arkansas player outside of Braylon
they
Russell
don't
that's on the
play.
team.
I mean, they're probably not
Yeah,
starting
I
for us.
can. Antonio Jordan, or excuse me, Anthony Jordan from Warren, who's a freshman wide receiver, going to
The
make some
wide
noise this
receiver.
year.
Yeah.
But to jump on the optimism train just a little
And
bit,
Courtney Crutchfield. Sorry, I can name one.
going what to Josh said about leadership, I do see from what I've heard and what I've seen, we've got good leadership. We've got coaches back. That's a huge thing. Huge thing. Not only
Yeah.
Bobby Petrino, but
T.
even
Will.
the head coach and T. Will, and even the position coaches. We got them back. We got the number one position back, quarterback. He's back. Green. I've heard a lot of good things about Mike Washington. I'm sure y'all have too. But where he's came from, the transfer portal, New Mexico State, I think it was.
Yeah.
He's only had, I think, 12 starts in his career, and he only had in a subpar conference last year less than 800 yards rushing. So why are we hyping this guy up like he's going to be like this next great SEC running back that we have?
You can't go
And
off
I keep
that, Buck.
hearing all these great things like he's busting out runs against our own, defense out there, but he's playing against us against us. That just shows me maybe our defense is terrible. Maybe that's the reason he's busting out these runs. And I've heard he's really fast, but can he hold that up in the SEC? I don't know. Time will tell, I guess.
We've got 3 of them though. We got Ronnie Hill, Braylon Russell, and him. So
But
it's not just going to be him.
all the great things I've been hearing about Mike Washington, I'm tired of hearing about it. I want to see it.
Well,
Yeah,
Mike
well,
And
I'll
I
tell
Washington
keep
you
is
the
seeing,
guys
listed.
you need to watch
He's
out
listed
for.
as number 1 on the depth chart
yeah,
for this
exactly.
week.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be the guy this year.
Well, just wait, because I feel like he is going to be the guy.
I
And I
hope you're
think
right.
Braylon Russell and Ronnie Hill is going to be complement backs to Mike Washington. But Raylan Sharp and Cam Shanks at the slot receiver position is going to make some noise. Omega Blake's going to be phenomenal. And C.J. Brown. C.J. Brown's probably the fastest guy on the field on most of the games that we're going to play.
I've heard that a lot.
He is
Well, from my
lightning
research,
fast.
Here's a stat for you. Last time Mike Washington played against an SEC team, and it might have been with some crappy O-line. Obviously, it's for another team, but he played against A&M. He had 15 carries for how many yards? 22.
Yeah.
Does that impress you?
It doesn't impress me with a New
Not at all.
Mexico State offensive line.
But I'm just saying that was against SEC caliber competition, even with a subpar line. You think he might have done a little bit better than that?
We've got the biggest offensive line in SEC this year.
I know you're being optimistic. I'm just throwing stats out there for you now.
Yeah. Well, you're comparing apples and oranges because you're comparing what he did at New Mexico State to what he's going to do at Arkansas.
I get that. But
yeah,
I have my doubts.
My concern at the wide receiver spot is our tallest receiver is 6'3", Monty Harrison, and he's 31 years old. Which whatever.
I was about to say he's old.
Whatever. He's impressed a lot of people over the spring and in fall camp.
Wait, Caleb, how old are you? How old are you?
I'm 32.
Okay,
he's your age.
So you are older by one. Okay.
Yeah, he's y'all's age.
But
he's about our age. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, even
that's
like
crazy.
Cam Shanks, 5'8", Raylan Sharp, 5'9". Our tallest weapon is, and I'm going to butcher his name because I don't think this is how you say it, is our tight end from last year, Pasaki. I think that's, I don't
Fun
even
fact,
think that's how
he's the only returning
Pasaki.
person on the team that's caught a touchdown.
He's 6'6", so he's our tallest target. I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, but here's the deal,
I
guys.
guess in red zone, jump ball, if he's in the game, hey, it's going to him or probably Braylon Russell. I mean,
hey, tell Devontae Turpin and tell Warwick Dunn and all these great players that are a little bit undersized that size matters. They may not be very big in stature.
Size does matter, Josh.
Yeah. They may not be very big in stature, but they're going to play big. I promise.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hell, let's just hear from.
We
Buck.
better outrun them. That's all I gotta say.
Let's get this out of the way, Buck. Give us your prediction. Here's what I want to hear.
I don't want to go down through the whole list. Are we going down through the whole list?
I want to hear out of your predictions. You don't have to know scores except for this week, but let's go week 1 through week 12, win or loss, and then give your score for this week.
Can y'all still see me when I do this?
No.
Okay. Cool. Well, can you go down through there? I'm trying to remember each game. So week 1, obviously, A&M.
Week 1, Alabama A&M. Yeah.
That's going to be a blowout. It should be. And if we're giving a score prediction on that, I mean, that's going to be hard to tell. Depends how long we leave our starters in there, probably. But I would say 65-10. Let's say that.
Okay.
And then week 2, we play Arkansas State. I think that'll be close in the first half. We'll find a way just because of talent to pull away in the second half. And I just want to say it's going to be, we'll probably talk about it next week, but it'll be a multi-touchdown win. Week 3 is what, Memphis?
Week 3 is Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
At Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Okay, and then Memphis. Okay, Ole Miss, I think we got a loss there. It'll probably be somewhat close, but we'll lose. It's a away game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we got Memphis at Memphis.
I
heard they got construction going on in the stadium. Not that matters, but
yeah, we played in it at the Liberty Bowl.
Right. I think just out of sheer talent, we'll probably win that game. It'll probably be close too, but we'll probably win that game. And then the next week we got Notre Dame, This is a tough one to me. Now, if we're going in there 3-1, which I think we will, I think we're going to lose, but I think it's going to be a heartbreaker. I think we might lose a heartbreaker there.
Okay.
I
like it.
What's the next week?
That's going to be at Tennessee.
At Tennessee. A lot of people have us winning that game. I think that's a loss. What's the next week?
Back home.
It's
with
probably
Auburn.
because Tennessee's quarterback is from Appalachian State.
Yeah.
But just sheer of it being on the road, that's why I'm having us as a loss there. The next week is what?
Back home with Auburn.
That's going to be a win. They're going to have a crappy season, I think. Hugh Freeze getting fired. We'll win that.
All right.
What's the next one?
Mississippi State.
Mississippi State.
Mississippi State. That's going to be a win. That's going to be a win. No question. And then what's the next one after that?
And then he's got us losing our next
LSU.
3 games.
No.
At LSU.
At LSU. I'm struggling whether to give us a win here or give us a win at Texas. I think we're gonna have a shocker win this year, and that's my bold prediction.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give us a bold win against LSU. I'm gonna give us a win here.
No,
we'll shock the country right there.
Wow.
All right.
That's Pittman's one episode a year that he does.
Yep, that's his one.
Okay.
We're gonna have one.
I got a different game for that, but I give Pittman one episode a year. So you got one, I got one.
Yours gonna be against Notre Dame, ain't it? Anyway, what's the next one after that? Texas? Texas, we're gonna lose.
Yeah.
Texas.
And then what?
Missouri.
Missouri. I think we'll win that one. And this is actually me being very optimistic. So this is about as optimistic as I can be for this
which
year.
is not very optimistic at all.
Did you just
Seven wins? Seven wins?
8?
That's pretty optimistic.
That's 8 wins, ain't it? You said week 1 W, week 2 W, week 4 W, and then week 7 W, week 8 W, week 9 W, beating LSU, losing to Texas, and beating Missouri.
Hang on. 1, 2, 3.
I've got you down for 8
Oh,
wins.
we never Texas A&M is a loss.
Can y'all hear
Texas
that crap?
A&M. Okay.
No, that's 7 wins, buddy.
Okay, you wrote down, so that I didn't hear. Texas A&M, you said we're losing. I think
You skipped over when I asked you. So after the Tennessee game, we're going to lose that one. We're going to lose A&M after that. We're going to beat Auburn. We're going to beat Mississippi State, and we're going to be on a roll. And we're going to beat LSU after that.
Yeah.
So I got us at 7-5.
7-5. Okay.
That's about as optimistic as I can be.
I hear you. Yeah, that's surprising. That is honestly very, very surprising. I
was this close to going
you.
6-6, but I think Bobby Petrino is going to pull some tricks out of his bag. He's the only reason.
Yeah.
It ain't that head hog. Josh is over there.
I'm just waiting for my turn.
You're up, buddy.
Yeah, you're up.
Well, guys, what me and Buck both picked 6-6 last year. That was me being somewhat realistic, but hoping for obviously 8-4 or better, but we didn't get it. We obviously dropped Oklahoma State and probably another game there that I'm failing to remember that kept us from being 8-4. I think we had the team. We had an 8-4 team last year. I feel like we had the capability to be 8-4 if the ball would have rolled a different way, but it didn't, and we were 6-6, won our bowl game. You know, it is what it is, and everybody wants to crucify Pittman for it. but I'll say this: A&M, Alabama A&M game. I'm going to say 57-13, 57-13. And then I'll say Arkansas State. It's a win. I feel like I kind of agree with Buck. I feel like it'll be a close game at halftime, and then we pull away at the end by a couple touchdowns or more. I'll say Ole Miss is a loss, but I'll say this: we always play Ole Miss close. We have the last couple.
Not last year.
We went down there.
Last year they killed us. They ran up the
they
score.
also had the starting quarterback for the New York Giants this year. Probably this year in Jackson Dart, who's awesome. I mean, I'm a big Jackson Dart fan. I feel like he's going to do very well in the NFL. And he can just throw dimes just at will. So
exactly.
I'm going to say that's a loss, but I also want to say we have the potential to win that game because they are playing a new quarterback, and even though it is at Ole Miss, I feel like we can really compete there. Memphis, I'm going to say that's probably going to be a really, really close game. That's going to be a really, really close game. That's going to be a dogfight. We're going to have to really scrap and claw, especially coming off having to go to Ole Miss and then turn around and have to go to Memphis. It's a double whammy road game. And I feel like if we do win that Ole Miss game, just, exerting all of our energy towards that game may be a trap game. That Memphis game may be a trap game if we end up pulling out the Ole Miss game. But I'll say a win here, but a very squeaky.
You don't think we're gonna have just as many Hog fans there as Memphis?
Quite possibly, yeah. I would imagine.
Yeah. I don't think it's a road game then.
It'll be half and half, if not more, Hog fans there.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's a true road game. So
yeah, but it's not about the road and being on the road. It's about the Memphis team. And Memphis was a team last year won 10 ball games.
Yeah, they're good.
They're a really good team.
Yeah, they're
so
good.
I'm trying to give credit where credit's due in all of this as far as our opponents. But I'm thinking we're going into a Notre Dame 3-1, regardless of how that shakes out. But that's my opinion on the first 4 games. And then I'm going to say we beat Notre Dame. I'm going to say.
Oh, wow. I knew it.
Wow.
I knew it.
That's my hot take of the season. I'm going to say we
got
beat
2
Notre
different
Dame.
Takes, but...
I think it has the feel of the Texas game, 2-3 years ago. It has that
it's
feel.
Going to be rocking.
It's going to be rocking, and Notre Dame's not going to know what hit them coming to the
It's 11 and it's already set. It's 11 a.m. game.
Yeah, and which I don't like. I don't like the 11 o'clock
right?
game, but it's definitely going to be.
It's ABC, 11 a.m. ABC game. We do terrible at 11 a.m. Look at our stats. I'm not.
But it's a home game.
Go ahead.
Pittman teams don't do well in Fayetteville. They do better on the road historically, anyway.
They do really good in Fayetteville at night, though.
Yes, do well at Fayetteville at night. Yes.
All right. What about Tennessee?
Sorry, I'm trying to get this light on so you can see me, even though I probably need to hide this ugly. But what's the next game?
Tennessee.
Need to hide those ugly predictions.
At Tennessee, man. I'm going to say we have a high potential to win that game because of the quarterback's situation with Tennessee, but being in.
Uh-oh. I think we lost him.
Yeah, we lost him for a second.
His phone probably died. Knowing him, his phone probably died. I think he's
back.
Oh, there he is.
No, I'm here.
You with us, Camo?
Yeah, I'm here. What's that?
You were talking about Tennessee going into Tennessee.
Yeah, Tennessee. I'm thinking that's a loss. And then what? The next game, A&M.
Yeah, Texas A&M at home. And if you remember the last time we played A&M at home, you remember A&M's quarterback?
Johnny Manziel.
It's been so long since we played a true home game or a true road game.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this right here, guys. This 3-game stretch at home between A&M, Auburn, and Mississippi State is going to define our season. If we can go 2 out of 3 games in this 3-game home stretch, it will define the success of our season and probably define Sam Pittman's future with the Hogs. If we do not find a way to win at least 2 of these 3 games, Pittman will probably end up being fired because we'll be 6-6 or worse. We'll be
Should have
6.
already been fired.
We'll be 6-6 or worse, and that's not going to be a recipe to keep Pittman. I think Pittman needs to go 7-5 or better to continue his tenure here at the Razorbacks. And I love Pittman, but I'm just trying to be a realist with where everything's at, how long he's been there, the anxiousness of the Hog fans. I feel like he's going to have to go 7-5 or better. So I'm going to say A&M's a loss, but we win the next 2. We beat Auburn. We beat Mississippi State. The next game at LSU, I'm going to say that's a loss. I'm going to say Texas is a loss, and I'm going to say Missouri is a win.
Okay, so 7-5.
7-5.
Wow.
The only differences was my win against LSU and his win against Notre Dame. Just flip flop them.
I just flip
So
flop.
we got the same prediction again this year, Camo. We're probably going to be right.
Same prediction.
Same prediction. And who would have thought probably the most optimistic of the bunch has the worst record than y'all two, especially you, Buckman. Here's me.
Wait, you picked 6-6?
Here's me. Listen.
Oh, gosh.
Week 1, Alabama A&M, we win. We win by plus 35, okay? That's a dub. We go into Little Rock. It's the last game in Little Rock. This is Arkansas State's Super Bowl. This is their national championship. They're going to give us hell. But at halftime, or we come back out of the half, and we take care of business. So I got us a W there. My score prediction for this week is going to be, I'm kind of with Buck. I'm not as high as 65, but I'm going to say like 52-10. I'll write that down. So I've got a win this week, a win against Arkansas State. At Ole Miss, that's a loss. Probably tight. I'm going to go with that. I don't think it's going to be a blowout like it was last year. We're not going to let that happen. I think our defensive line is better, even though we don't have Landon Jackson. I still think we're good with Campbell and then Sorey at linebacker. I think we're good there. We're going to go into Memphis, and I think we're going to win. I got us a win there. A loss to Notre Dame, a loss to Tennessee. And then, just like you, Camo, I'm going to go, we got to win at least 2 of these games, but I've got W's for A&M, Auburn, and Mississippi State.
One of those is a given W almost.
This right here, though, is what retains Sam Pittman for this year. I don't know if y'all know, but I know this is Pittman's last year no matter what. Winning these 3 games in a row is what's going to keep him here through the end of the season and to get to our and be able to coach in the bowl game. Okay, we're going to cut ties with Sam Pittman this year no matter what, because we're not going to go 8-4. That's what's going to keep him here next year. But we're not Sam Pittman. I don't care what happens this season. Sam Pittman's not going to be our coach next year, because if we somehow miraculously make this a 8-4, 9-3, God forbid, 10-2 season, he's going to pass the baton, and he's going to ride it out. Okay.
That's a bold take.
But LSU, Texas, LSU, Texas, and Mizzou, all losses. Okay. I'm not going to ever pick us to beat Mizzou until we can freaking do it. Now, you say, why pick Mizzou, but not
and then pick A&M?
Because we've beat A&M. We've proven we can beat A&M. The ball just hasn't bounced our way more than a few times in that game. And, yeah, you could say whatever, but
it's a home game.
It's a home game, and it's probably – it's okay. Here it is. This is a flex.
Our worst football.
This is a flex game. It's a 3:30. It's a 3:30, 4:30 game, or a 6 or 8 game, 6 p.m. or 8 p.m. game. So if we get that 6 that late night spot, that prime time, put an exclamation point on the dub. So
I get that.
I'm at 6-6. So, wow. I did not think
I
that I
was
would
flirting
have.
with that though. Like I'm right there
I
at the
did not.
cusp.
Yeah, I was
6 and
thinking
7.
Buckman
Wow.
was going to come in here 4-8, 5. A 5-7.
Hey, it wouldn't surprise me if we only win 4 or 5 games and he's
You know
fired
what it
before the end of
shows?
the season.
What it
Wouldn't
shows is
surprise
Buckman as critical as he seems, he's been drinking the Razorback Kool-Aid privately, pri-
me.
privately with nobody watching.
Yeah.
Uh,
He's,
no,
he's he's at home getting pumped up. He's watching videos.
He's at home.
He's
you
He
flexing
know,
in
don't
you
want
know
here.
what it
nobody
is.
to
You know
know.
what it is,
He don't
and
want
I hate to
nobody
say
to know,
this
but he's
again.
drinking the Kool-Aid.
I hate to say this again, but Bobby Petrino in year 2 with the same quarterback is the
He's
only
dangerous.
reason
It's
I have us
dangerous.
at 7 wins.
I'll give you
It's the
that.
only reason.
Hey,
And
and
retaining Taylor Green.
Yeah, I mean
yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
Year 2 with the
yeah,
same quarterback and Bobby Petrino. That's
In
the
year
only
2.
reason I
Yeah.
have
yeah.
us at 7.
And then
Yeah.
we've made some changes on the offensive line.
Yeah, that too.
Carmona.
Yep.
He's now on defense. He's playing on the D line. So I think we've got a better. I think we're gonna have a better scheme up front. I think Braylon Russell can. I want to see Mike Washington see how he does, but I think Braylon Russell is this duo. If you remember when Alex Collins was here, Alex Collins was not an every down back until he had to be. Jonathan Williams was our first and second down back. Jay Will until he got hurt. And Alex Collins, had to step up. I think Braylon Russell is not our first and second down back, but he's our hoss. He's our, not as big as Dennis Johnson, but he's very much that style. He can run downhill. He can break the tackles. He can pop you in the mouth. And I mean, I think he also could step up if needed. Like if Mike Washington is not going to be what we think or hope, then Braylon Russell probably could step up and be that first and second down back. But I think we're going to see. I think Buckman's right. A year or 2 quarterback with Petrino is dangerous. I think we're going to have a better line than last year. And I think we will be able to move the ball, spread the ball out, and then that's going to open up.
Guys, I'll tell you one thing we're not mentioning that I really think needs to be said before we break away from here is I really feel like this defense is going to surprise you.
Yeah.
I really do.
I feel
I
I
honestly
think it's
do.
going
I
to
feel like
be
this
more of a
defense is gonna
2020,
surprise you.
like I said earlier,
defense.
Mike Washington's stats, even though it was a different team, I understand that. But even against he had less than 800 yards the last season. He's had 12 starts
It don't matter
total
what happened
in
last
his
season.
career. It does. And it's just like I'm
Camo,
looking at that,
think you're
and
right.
he's breaking these runs out on our defense in practice.
Yeah.
I'm hearing every practice we have, he's breaking an 80-yard run. That tells me one or two things: he's as good as they say he is, or our defense sucks.
I think it's the
And
first one. I think it's the first one.
I hope you're right, but I think it's the second.
First one.
I think it's the second one.
Every
I think our
player,
defense gonna be terrible.
and every coach has said Mike Washington is a stud. They ain't lying.
They're gonna talk up the team. They ain't gonna tell them. They ain't gonna tell us they suck.
Hey, they ain't all going to be trying to call our bluff. They're saying that for a reason.
I hope you're right.
They're saying that for a reason. They ain't trying to be made of fools.
And
they're saying that for a reason. He's a stud.
Another guy that's been hearing Pittman talk a lot about is C.J. Brown, who is from Bentonville. So there's another Razorback or Arkansas boy. Now he didn't originally start at Arkansas. He started at I think Florida, and then got in some trouble, and I think actually got kicked off the team at Florida, and then transferred to Arkansas. But going back to the defense, Camo, I think you're right. I'm way more excited about the defense this year than I was last year, even though we had a big name with Landon Jackson on the DN.
I think he
we
was
finally don't
overconfident.
have, like, Hudson Clark is finally off the team. Like, after
That's a
47
win in
years,
itself.
After 17 years, are
he's
you
gone.
kidding?
Okay.
That's a win in itself right
it
there.
is. But I think we're going to see a lot of 2021
Unicorn.
defense. If y'all remember, we were flying to the football. We were hitting people in the mouth. And yes, they both, they were, Hudson Clark was on that, but,
You forget
whatever.
Hudson Clark had 3 interceptions against Ole
In
Miss.
2020 against Ole Miss.
He was
Who
the
cares? That's
reason
his
we won the
highlight.
game. He's the reason we won that
he's
game.
Not. We had 6 picks. Yeah, he had half of them, but
he had 3 of them.
Yeah, but that's not why we won the game. Anyway,
I don't know.
That was
still a
literally
close
5
game.
years ago, so it doesn't matter. But I like it, Camo. I'm with you on the defense. I think we're going to be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, how can we not with T. Will? I mean,
I think our
You
defense
got T.
will be
Will,
about
you
the
got
same.
Sorey, you got Dix
Cam
Jr.,
Ball.
you've got Cam Ball. I really feel like we got a good core of defensive guys. We just got to, it's just like defense. Defense is read and react. You got to tackle. You got to read and react to the football. Reckless abandon kind of attitude.
And then our safety, Larry
T.
Worth.
Will's going to do that.
He's 6'4". He's 6'4" and fast. Larry Worth the third.
Yeah. Oh, Larry Worth. You watch him. He's going to be a main guy this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, we got to give love to Cam Ball up front. He's been with us
Cam
year?
Ball.
Fifth year.
Yeah.
He's been with the Razorbacks. He's been offered more money supposedly to go other places, but he chose to stay here and ride it out. And you got to respect a guy for that.
But I
sure.
want to say this before we get off here. I'm tired of being called Ole Miss's farm team. I'm sick and tired of it because all of our players go, transferred there. Who's the receiver that transferred there that we had last year, and now that's at Ole Miss?
Luke Hawes was a tight end.
Okay,
but
Luke
he's
Hawes.
hurt. He's hurt.
Satania went to Texas Tech. Pretty sure Texas Tech, and then Hawes went to Ole Miss.
Yeah,
Hawes is hurt though, is what I've heard. So I don't know.
I heard
he's
that,
out for the year.
That's been
he's out for the year.
Out for the year.
Really?
He's out for the year.
I knew he was out for a while, but
it's either his Achilles or ACL. But yeah, he's out for the year.
Wow.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I mean, before we end it, any closing remarks, Buck or Camo?
Yeah, I've got one.
You go.
I've got one, and we tried to stay positive, but I want us to keep an eye on this one thing that I read here recently about Bobby Petrino electing to be up in the booth to call the plays instead of being down on the field. I will say this: made that. He's made that decision. He's going to be up top this year, and I know he can see some things better. But me being old school, I want to be with my guys. I want to look them in the eye. I want to be on the field. I really feel like you'll see in the next game or two, or maybe after our first loss, that may change. I don't like the decision. I wish Bobby would stay out on the field, but I could be wrong. It may be better for the guys, but I just want us to take note of that and pay attention to Bobby being up in the booth this year.
I think he can see the game better from up there. But if this was the old Bobby, I would agree with you. Now I would want him on the field.
Well, that was old Bobby was head coach Bobby.
Yeah,
old Bobby was head coach Bobby.
Nowadays, Bobby is
a lot of coordinators are already they are up in the top. I mean, so I see.
But my closing
ways.
remarks has nothing to do with the Razorbacks this year. It was an old former Razorback, and got to give her kicker some love, Cam Little.
Oh yeah.
Now he's bombing kicks out there in the preseason. I cannot wait till he's out there in regular season doing this. He's already broke the record preseason, 70 yards, which was insane.
Yeah, but they ought to give it to him because he had another 3 yards maybe.
They said he had another 4 yards on the
4
on the replay. Yeah. So that's crazy.
Yeah, they're gonna Jacksonville's gonna get into a situation where they're on their 40 like that again in regular season. It's gonna be 4th and 12, and they're gonna let them kick. They're gonna let them kick it or try to.
If it's at the end of half, if it's at the end of the half or end of the game, they will.
Yeah,
I think he'll be in the league for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey,
Well,
I'm glad it's here. You know, even though I started out with saying I'm not that excited, I am. You know, I can't wait for the season and see how it shakes out because I'm a Hog fan.
you'll get in the
But
groove, Caleb. You'll get in the groove.
yeah, you know, we'll see how
The
what
losing,
happens.
the losing.
But hey, well, all right, Buck, Camo. Well, we got to do this. Took a little coordination, and we had to shake Buckman down. I had to call him, just tell him to quit being a,
No, come
you
on.
know what. But glad we got to do this, and hey, go Hogs, and let's go beat Alabama A&M.
Go Hogs,
Hogs,
baby.
prove the doubters
Blue
wrong.
Pig. Let's
Blue
go.
Pig.